This program is produced by the volunteers of Tellico Village Broadcasting.
Welcome to another County Update. I'm your new host, Elliot Dolmans, for the program. And first of all, I'd like to say that our guest, as always, is Commissioner Henry Cullen. Henry, good morning.
Good morning to you, Elliot, and it's good to be here.
It is. It's always good to be here amongst friends. And I just want to take a moment, Henry, to put out a special thank you to Karen Kiersted and Jim Lane, and especially to Karen for her coverage of all the county updates over the years.
She did extremely well. I will miss her, but I'll tell you, I'm looking forward to doing it with you, Elliot.
Well, good. I appreciate that. That's a good way to start, Henry. Well, listen, let's get right to it for our viewers. The county elections are over.
County elections are over. August 2nd on a Thursday night, they came to a close. We have 3 new commissioners joining the commission. They are Julia Hurley. She is replacing Erlina Maples, who lost by about 28 votes. Adam Waller is replacing Steve Harrelson, who ran for mayor and was unsuccessful in his run. So Adam will be the new commissioner from District 6, and Gary Whitfield from District 4 is replacing Leo Bradshaw. To give you just a little bit of trivia.
Okay.
For your next hand and foot game when you're sitting around, or 5 crowns, or whatever you're playing at the house. There are 6,058 registered voters in Tellico Village. 2,710 voted in this past election for the county elections. That represents about 45% of the total. The issue I'm going to ask is, you have a say in how county government and how Tennessee government is run. But your say doesn't count unless you get off the couch and go vote. So I'm encouraging you for the next election, which will be in November, make an attempt to get out to the polls. Here's the issues in November. The governorship is up for election. You got the 2nd District congressional seat. You got Tim Burchard running for that. And the 21st state rep, which is Lowell Russell. And of course, I'm naming the Republicans because I belong to the Republican Party. But I'm encouraging you to get out and vote. The swearing in for all elected officials will take place tonight at the courthouse at 7 p.m. So, thanks for your support. Thanks for the people who did get out and vote. We're just encouraging you to, next election, take time and get out and vote. Elliot?
And especially because it's so important to everyone here in Tellico Village. I can't imagine why there wouldn't at least be a 50% turnout at the polls, or more.
The people that are being elected have an effect on Tellico Village, you're right.
Absolutely, direct effect. All right, Henry, let's talk about Project Z for Zebra.
Okay, that's a code name, and I'll tell you what it's all about. If you've read the News Herald, there is a Chinese foam manufacturing company that wants to relocate to Center 75. Center 75 is at Industrial Park just before you hit Interstate 75 on Route 72. They're a multi-million-dollar corporation. They have been vetted, and the issue comes down to they're going to buy a plot of land down at Center 75 that represents $2 million with an option for additional land purchase. This will be the first time we have a use of Center 75, and I'm happy for it. I don't like to see the land just sitting there. Let's put it to use. They have been vetted, and I can assure you that if it'll affect the environment, it will cause harm to the citizens of Loudon County, or in my words, it stinks, I will vote no. It's not a done deal yet, but there's a lot of talk about it. As you know, if you follow the national politics scene, President Trump and Chinese are going back and forth on tariffs. And of course, based on this talk, some of the Chinese companies are pulling out of their investment in America or backing away from it. I hope this doesn't happen, but I'll keep you informed as this gets closer to being a reality.
So this, in just to give a footprint of this, this would be back in by Purdy Trucking off of 72?
If you go in Center 75, Purdy Trucking has a facility way in the back.
Right.
It would be in the front part of that.
Okay, all right. Is there any kind of a time frame for this, for their commitment to the land, or anything about the construction being started?
There is a timeline. Jack Qualls from the Economic Development Agency is working on that, and as it gets closer, I can give you an update.
Okay, great. So that may help out Loudon County immensely if it has a chance to go through.
$2 million.
And people to be hired.
And people to be hired. That's the important thing.
Okay. Now, here's something that I want to hear about personally, and this is the FBI training facility. I didn't know that we even had one.
Well, we don't.
Okay.
But here's the issue that's garnered a lot of conversation over the last few weeks. The FBI came to Loudon County, and they want to establish a training facility. Would be a firing range, driving course, indoor classroom. And they want to invest in Loudon County. The spot that we're looking at deals with the Matlock Bend landfill and a piece of their property. That got a lot of pushback from the people in Tennessee National. So now they're looking at other sites within Loudon County that they can put this training facility on. I don't know if it's going to go, but it is an area we want to look at. I think overall for the volunteer fire department, the sheriff's department, Loudon Police, Lenoir City Police, it would probably be a big plus. So stay tuned, you'll hear more about it. It is not a done deal.
Okay. But I can understand why they might complain. I would think first and foremost they'd complain about the smell from the mushroom farm and factory.
Well,
that's bad enough.
I'm not sailing into that. The
okay.
Noise, what they're complaining about would be the noise from the firing range, because not only is it handgun, it's automatic weapons or AK, whatever they are.
AK-47s and all the rest of that.
So anyway, that's the issue with it. It's well worth $1 million. That's what the feds want to invest. So,
boy, okay, that sounds good to me. So moving right along, we look at now the jail and the firehouse.
Okay, if anybody has driven along 11 by the Justice Center, you will see off to the right that the jail is making progress.
Absolutely.
And the things that are, being the chairman of the construction committee for the commission, we didn't run into any problem with landfills or any other sort that was problems that were in the ground. So far, it's going along smoothly. But if you notice, it butts right up against the Loudon County Fire and Rescue Building. Loudon County Fire and Rescue went off and bought a piece of property at Sugar Lemon 75. They're moving some of the dirt off of there to clear it back to the jail to fill in where we need it.
Right.
But the issue comes down, they're looking to build on this new piece of property. Bill Hart, the chief of Loudon County Fire and Rescue, does not have any plans yet or any idea of the cost estimate. But when he does, he's coming back to the commission, and hopefully we can find some funds to get them moved off-site and demolish the building.
Now, if you can move them off-site and things work well so that he can take advantage of that new land that they want to relocate to, that would give the jail and the firehouse additional property to move out front, right? Closer to Highway 11?
Well, yes, the firehouse will be gone, but what will take its place would be parking space.
Okay.
And eventually down the road, and this is off into the future, we're going to have to expand the courthouse and the facilities that go along with the courthouse. So that's where that's going to go.
But more than likely, there'll be land to the east of the new jail site. Would there be, or is that something that would have to be looked at?
We come close to, there used to be the 911 center right there in the trailer.
Right.
We butt up against that property. We demolished the houses behind the jail that the county owned. And after the new jail is built, the addition, there's room for another 300 beds if we build an additional extension on the back. So we plan for expansion.
Good, good.
But the firehouse is in the way. And Bill Hart wants to move, and we want to help him.
Okay. So we'll have more of an update on that probably by next month, right?
Well, I hope to have some by next month, but things move slow.
Okay. Let's get to something that ought to be moving fast, and that's the work on Highway 444.
Well, let me tell you where we are. They were going to move, and they were going to change the guardrails out from the galvanized ones to the brown powder power-coated guardrails. That was supposed to start mid-August, and here we're almost through August.
Yep.
But the thing I want to talk about, and a lot of questions about this, in November, and again, remember these things kind of slip. In November, down at 444 and 72, the street lights are slated to go up on both sides.
Okay.
So when that gets done, that'll be a big improvement for that intersection. A lot of people have asked me about putting one down at 321 and 444 where you come off the new exit to the village from the bridge.
Yep.
I'm working on that, and hopefully we can get it done at the same time.
Good. I hope that's the case because you need some lighting there with the traffic, especially at night and in fall going into the earlier, darker hours.
You're right.
It's even more
You're right, Elliot.
necessary.
When the time changes, it'll be dark a lot earlier. And the beauty of working in government is things work slower than I'm used to.
Okay. So now we finally get to a topic that is all about education, and we're talking about the newly elected school director.
Here's the issue there, and I generally don't sail into the school issues. I leave that to Craig Simons when he comes on Channel 3. But the News Herald ran an article a week or so ago about a group in Loudon City that has signed a petition to go from an appointed school director to an elected school director. Apparently in the state of Tennessee you can do that. You have to petition Nashville. There's a lot of issues when you start talking about that. An elected school director or one that you vet and hire. So the point comes down to, and I don't disagree with their right to come before the commission with a petition. That's certainly within their rights. I just don't know how far that's going to go, and I just wanted to make you aware of it, so in case you hear anything about it. They're due to come before the commission at the workshop in September, and we'll probably hear it at the commission meeting in October.
Okay, so now if it ends up that it's going to an elected position, will that election happen in the November elections, or will it happen sometime after that?
It'll be way after that because you have to petition the state, you have to be approved for it, and then again you have to take a look at the candidates. You have to set up some specs. You know, you have to have some educational background, preferably a PhD, which they all look for.
Right.
And my point is, I don't think it's going to fly, but we're certainly going to listen to them.
Okay. Henry, that's a full plate for this first program that we're doing together.
Well, I want to
You are a busy guy.
I want to make sure I got my dime's worth out of you.
Well, folks, as you've heard, one of the big advantages that we here in Tellico Village have is this gentleman right here. And I'd be remiss if I didn't say we are proud to have you as our county commissioner. You do the kind of job for Tellico Village that no one before you has done. So thank you.
Elliot, I appreciate it.
Thank you, Henry.
Have a good day, and I'll be back next month.
Okay, you heard it from the chief himself.
There you go.
We'll see you next month on the County Update right here at Tellico Village Broadcasting, and we're a production of Tellico Village Broadcasting. Why? Because we bring the news to you firsthand that people in Tellico Village and even throughout the county want to hear. Have a great day, and thanks for viewing.